Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. I'm back. And so the disciples asked Jesus. They were talking about collection time, the state collection time, referred to taxation. So they asked good master. Don't call me good, none good but God. But they asked Jesus, our master, about this paying tax thing. And so the master told him, said, well, render to Caesar that which is Caesar's, and God that which is God. Then he asked them, look on that coin you got. Whose picture is on it? They said Caesar. So they were basically saying, and Jesus was confirming, you got that because you obey Caesar and not God. So since you got that in obeying Caesar's way, don't rock the boat, obey Caesar. Because no man can obey two masters. Now, this is what we are dealing with today. God or Caesar. God or man. Render to Caesar that which is Caesar's and God that which is God. Let me ask you something, Americans. Did man make the earth? You don't have to answer loud. I know what you're thinking. Did man create in those cavities of the earth? Did he place in there oil, in some places, and gas in other places, and other minerals in other places, and iron in other places, and diamonds in other places, and steel in other places, and all kind of other things that's in the earth that you might be familiar with that I don't. Did man put that stuff there, or did God put that stuff there? You don't have to answer that. Now, who is supposed to use that stuff? Well, before I ask you who's supposed to use it, I'll ask you, who was that stuff made for? It was made for those who can use it. And who are those that can use it? The human beings that God made. So it seems to me, God made everything that human beings need to survive and live on earth as if they're in heaven. If they are obeying God. No man can obey two masters. If they are obeying God. Now, if you're not obeying God, you're not going to live like that. There won't be peace for everybody, prosperity for everybody, happiness for everybody. That just won't happen. In order for that to happen, you got to be obeying God. And that don't mean some of you obeying God, and some of you wishy-washy, playing along. You can go straddle the fence any kind of way. You the big problem. You what they call the good person. Now, if all things belong to God, and if it were made for people, and Caesar is controlling it, what does that mean? That means that the people have dishonored God, dishonored themselves, and gave up the authority of life, even their own lives, to Caesar. Now, in a country where people can't have the benefits that God has prepared for them, as I just indicated, they can't have food, clothing, and shelter as freely as God designed it for. They got to pay for it. That Caesar has stolen it, has taken it over. And the people stood on the sideline and say, well, what I'm going to do? A lot of them are just going along with Caesar. A lot of them was afraid of Caesar. And so Caesar just took control. And somebody's out there saying, but we are God's people. Well, where's your action? Your action is going to a building on certain nights of the week or certain days of the week. Is that your action? Is your action down on your knees praying for this and praying for that? Is that your action? If that's your action, let me ask you, what did it get you? It got you Caesar. So if no man can obey two masters, and Caesar's being obeyed, and you see what's happening. Things are happening. Things are happening. They're not good things, but they're happening nonetheless. So that should say to you who want to serve God, that you got to do something. The devil, people not on their knees praying. No. They're asking, looking inside of their minds, looking inside their hearts, looking out for the devil to guide them. And what the devil is guiding them, that's what they're doing. What did the devil tell them to do? To lie. To cause problems. To steal. To cheat. Create some that got and some that don't. Start a war. Anything. Just make sure you obey Caesar if you want a house, if you want a car, if you want to be able to pay your rent, if you want a job, obey Caesar because Caesar's running it. You go to Jesus, get on your knees and ask Jesus today what you going to do. When you can't pay, what are you going to tell you? Render to Caesar that which is Caesar. And render to God that which is God. No man can obey two masters. The world and America is in the condition that is in today because they are obeying Caesar. Let me give you an example. You'll hear Steny Howard, furious. Well, he was really furious in his last presentation that I heard on social media at Republicans for bowing to Trump on the shutdown. You know, they say co-equal branches of government, the Congress. So the Congress has the same power that the president has. The president doesn't have more power than Congress. But sometimes Congress can come together because they got the Senate and the House and they can override what the president is doing. But if you are not serving the opposite, you're going to serve that direct. Now, here we go. I heard this man say that the Senate, the Speaker for the Senate, says that don't send me any proposals. Don't send me any proposed legislation. Don't even talk to me because I'm not going to consider anything that Caesar has not said was okay. I don't want to hear it. If Caesar didn't say it was all right, it ain't happening. So what are they saying? They're saying to hell with God. To hell with you. Caesar run us. Caesar run us. And you American people, you sent those people to office. You put them in office. You voted them in office. And they are saying that you have given them the authority to support Caesar. And to heck with what's right. To heck with what's good for everybody. Caesar. Caesar wants a wall. Give Caesar a wall. Caesar wants to run the Senate and the House. Do it. Caesar wants to run everything in the country. Do it. Caesar wants to put people in jail. Do it. Caesar just want to lie to your face and tell you that he's not lying, and you say, no, you wasn't lying. That's what Caesar wants. And Republicans, I'm saying not all of them. Well, unless you standing up indicating that you got a difference, then all of you doing it. You have said, Caesar. To hell with God. Caesar. If Trump don't say it, it ain't happening. If Trump don't say it, it's not going to even get considered. Hey, that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. If Caesar is your God, Caesar is your God. Render to Caesar that which is Caesar, and God that which is God. Now, you know what you just did? You know what I just shown you? The only thing belongs to Caesar is you. Is because you turned your back on what was right. You turned your back on what was good. And you know doggone well Trump is evil. You know doggone well Trump is a liar. You know doggone well Trump is a divider. And you say, well, I really don't like it, but I like what he's doing for us. And what is he doing for you? Making you great again? What does that mean? That means making you superior? That means putting you above all other people? That means causing other people to suffer because if you want more? And that's what you're bragging about. That's what you're excited about. My. That ain't funny. Kids out here can't go to school because Caesar says, I don't want them to have it. That's not the words he used, but the result is that they are not going to school because they ain't got the resources to go. Stolen by Caesar and his cohorts. Can't get the proper health care because Caesar says, I don't care about them. And you go right along and say, me either. But Obama tried to help them out. You tried to do everything you possibly could to keep Obama from helping God's people. Who's God's people? Those people who are suffering. And you, Caesar and Caesar's courts, did everything you possibly could to prevent it, and yet he was still able to get certain things done, and you could not wait to get him out of office, and you wanted to make sure that we will never forget. So you brought Caesar, the demon, and set him in the White House. I know he's a demon because every last one of you called him a demon when he was running. Every last one of you called him a demon when he was running. Now he's in office, and every last one of you step by step in line with the demon, calling yourself. What do you call yourself? What do you call yourselves? Well, it really doesn't matter what you call yourselves. God sees you. The people that are suffering, they see you. Now, I know the responsibility to stand up and change the situation is in the hands of the people who love God. And those of you who love God, I know you seem like you're weak. You seem like you don't know what to do. You seem like you're lost. But in a situation like this, I say to you, by the power of the Spirit of love of God inside of me, just stand. Now, when I say stand, I don't mean don't do anything. I mean go and do anything other than what they have designed for you to do. Do those kinds of things that will represent a love for one another. They are trying to shut down this government. Just like people can't get their checks, just like people going to soup lines trying to get food, they want that to happen to everybody in this country that is not of the privileged group. And I'm saying to everybody in this country, prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves when Caesar shows his ugly head. You can step out and make sure that not one day will the people miss the food. That the food trucks will roll. That the energy machines will work. That the planes will fly. That everything will move because it's righteousness that's going to overcome this Caesar-looking sucker. I'm talking. I know you're laughing at me. Because you think I can't do no more than what I'm doing. And I can't promise you that I can do more. But I can say, I can do this. And sometimes when people speak, it has an effect on some people. Especially when they speak it from their hearts. Now, I don't know if you're going to be touched by anything that I say. I do know this. What I'm saying to you is proper. What I'm saying to you is righteous. And it is good. And I tell you this. God is pleased with me. Pleased with me. Now you might say, well, God is pleased with you, but you can't pay your bills. I'm with Caesar, and I can pay mine, you privileged group. That's what you're saying. You're telling us that we're with the wrong group. We out here talking about God, who does nothing, and you're out there with Caesar, who does everything. But I tell you something that God does not do. God doesn't lie. God doesn't cheat. God doesn't steal. God doesn't cause terror. God doesn't cause war. God is not a racist. God is not a bigot. God is not prejudiced. And God is not evil. But you are. Every last one of you are. What I say it again. Every last one of you are. Think about it. Ball is in your court now. Bye-bye.